Welcome to Stacy Podcast. Silent Feet. It rains heavily. The pouring rain, sometimes raging, is as fierce as the anger of God for mankind. For those who do not know how to love nature by action, sometimes God's anger subsides, but it has not yet subsided. The sound of the rain pounding on the tiled roof made a popping sound. The sound is loud, sometimes small. The sound of the rain hitting the young leaves, of bananas, of sapodilla, of guava, of jackfruit, of erica, of grapefruit, of mango. That the passing spring leaves behind. The sound of the rain hitting the brickyard, falling, due to the falling speed of the rainwater, and the location where it rubs. After it fell, it did not melt, but shot up a short compartment, spreading the pulse. Around the center of the raindrop below, and then dissolved into the soggy ground. He was ready to go to the field. In his hand he held a net or two, nets, hooves. He also wore a basket he knitted with his own hands. The basket is special. It is round in shape, the gourd is knitted from the two ends together. The top of the basket has a small square, so that he can put what he earns in it. Above the small square there is a square the size of that square, to prevent animals from being caught in, unable to get out. God, forgive my son. Because his family was poor, he had to work hard to earn a living that way. He was dressed in worn out clothes, but at a glance, one could imagine the age of those clothes. There is nothing in his house, only a black and white television, which sometimes has to be repaired due to picture loss and interference. A radio sometimes breaks down, running on cassettes in the past, but had to sell a few kilos of rice to buy it. His wife, every now and then, complains about it. 2 bicycles do not break, do not stand idle, guard interlaced. Sent 2 daughters to go to school far away. In the house there were 6 mouths to eat, both he and everyone ate a lot. There are 3 children in the family who go to school, and tuition is expensive. Well, his children, very obedient. Also because in the past, his life was uneducated, so he was willing to sacrifice his whole life to send his children to school. He took light, graceful steps out of the house. On his body, there was still a little warmth of waterpipe tobacco that penetrated, but the rain had not been able to melt it, drifting into the air after a few hours of heavy rain. After the rain, the scenery, the air, everything in the world, seems to be completely renewed, only his life, which will remain the same forever, as if the poverty never subsides, but gets heavier and heavier. He went straight to the sunken river, running from the floating river above when he reached the field and ended with a large lotus-filled lagoon of the neighbor's field. He didn't go all out there. There he was not allowed to catch shrimp, crab, fish. No one forbade him, but he himself understood that he was not allowed to violate the territory of another field. His field is not his fishing ground, but people still think so. He had never been absent in a single rain in his life.